indicators, and they still can be wrong. So I'm not using charts to look back. I'm just using a system that I have to look forward for clues. And, sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong. But at least have a system. Just don't throw spaghetti against the wall. And if you don't sell, if you are up 10 points, that means money is not it's not important to you. I mean, I sell when I'm up 60%. Some people tell me, well, I'm selling way too fast. But you know what? I buy at 5, I sell at 8, and I do this 10 times a day, and I win 8 and I lose 2. So, I mean, you have to make money meaningful. You have to pay a mortgage, a boat, a car, something. But if you are up $10 and you ask Sam, hey, should I hold or should I sell? I mean, there's something wrong. And that tells me it's just paper money for you. You have to make it meaningful. You have to make it really meaningful and pay something with it. Otherwise, it's just paper money, and you get rich on paper, but you only make money when you sell. You don't make money when you buy. So that's everything I had today. Keep in mind, today's Friday. Keep your head high. You don't want to go in the weekend and lose money or be irritated, because then it stays with you the whole weekend. Be positive, be very cautious with your trades. And if you have money and you make profit, sell it. Don't be stupid and let it go to zero. So that's all I had. Thank you very much, and see you in Sam's chat.
Thanks, Ralph. Okay, so that's what we know. Okay, I'm supposed to record this whole thing, and I forgot. Okay. Good morning. Sorry about that. Just started. Good morning, everybody. 429. Stocks go up, stocks go down. Don't know what's real. Okay. What we know is Amazon way lower, says inflation's a problem. Even their Prime users went a little bit lower. They didn't meet expectations. Okay. Interesting, right? That whole thing I don't understand. People are kind of silly. I don't care if you're paying $100 for Prime. What is $100? Think about this. If you're going to go order toilet paper or whatever and have it delivered to you, then it costs you $8. I mean, over the course of time, it pays for itself. That doesn't make any sense to me, okay? So the Prime user thing doesn't make any sense. So just keep an eye on that. But Amazon said lower revenue, even with some higher prices, but that means less sales. That means slower economy, okay? Amazon Web Services was good. That's a positive. Okay, Apple says shortage, supply issue. How come Apple has a supply issue? Tesla doesn't. Very interesting, right? So that's going to drive it down, but it's getting a little bit better. Okay, and then you have this $8 billion to buy. Is that at the open? Is it at the close? Do they do it today and they sell it Monday? I don't know. So just be open-minded. Then we see. But if we go positive today, this is really straightforward. Tesla straight up. If Tesla takes out this 907, if 922 can happen, if 922 happens, 952 can happen. At 952, our 1,000 go to $18 for next week. $18 from two. Isn't that interesting? How things cover everything else? Trade them up and down. Okay, so SPX down 37. So let's just say 40. That puts it at 22.47. Then we see. Okay, two things to note here. SPX up 96 off of 4,200 last week. It popped. I mean, up 96. Then the next day it dropped 120. So yesterday up 90, 100, close, right? Does it drop 120? It's possible. Anything is possible. Okay? Then we see. Okay? Your number, 4231. 4231 down, 4,300 up. Very straightforward. Then we see. And then 4,200, obviously. NVIDIA, it hit 200 and dropped. Now, why were we buying all these calls? Because if Apple and Amazon were good, if they were going to break up, they did it. Now it's lower. So same thing on NVIDIA still. Now you have 201 up, 189 down. Apple, you got 166 up, 158 down. Lam Research. Nice day yesterday, but you got 501 up. You got 461 down, way down there. Qualcomm, very strong. Now think about this. The last time Qualcomm had a great day, it had a second day. But today, because of this, does it head lower? Don't know. Once again, we bought those at what, 18 cents, 19 cents. They went to 28, 70%, just like that. Have to trade. Have to trade them. At least trade half. Do something. Okay, get smarter. Okay, Qualcomm 151, 139 down. But Qualcomm's interesting. So Apple says supply shortage. Qualcomm didn't say anything like that. Isn't that interesting? CMG 1600 up. If it trades at 1380, it can go down a long way. Okay. They told you bad food inflation and the market went up. Facebook, all about 181. 181. Let it go up. Then we see. Baba, running. The in play today. 105, 106. 105 for next week. Interesting at $2. Would be interesting at $2. Then we see. Because it never has a second day. But if it does, this got to 116. So then it can run back up. Okay? Baidu, 141. CrowdStrike, 209, 216. Can't seem to get going. PanW, 631 up, 552 down. Roku, decent earnings, nothing great. It's not doing anything good. 89 down, 81, and 106. Amazon, it got to 2551. Very interesting. 2,500 down and 2690 up for today. Okay, for today on. Then we see. Snowman 186, 192. NOW right back down. Isn't that interesting? This one's interesting. It tried to go. If the numbers were good, should have taken off. Then we see. 502. 502 up. mRNA earnings coming next week. Do they guide down? Is it done? Stock was at 460, all the way down here. Is the vaccines done? Don't know. But BTNX did a crater, but I think it can go down. I don't know if it can go down a lot. Shop. Tried to get through 451. It could not hold. Right back down. They're going to guide lower. Then we see. Okay? Then we see. Okay? UPST. If you like UPST, you can go out 2 weeks for earnings on the 100. 2 weeks, if you like it. If you don't, then just wait. Google, nothing. It needs 2,400, couldn't get through. Tesla. There's 3 numbers on Tesla. There's this 906, 922, 952 accelerated. Okay? Then we see. In theory, this thing was down 120 2 days ago. So you should be able to go up 100. If the market goes positive, that puts it right around 977. At 977, we get 25 for our SPX. And we had 150 of those, so that'll be 500, 400 grand. Interesting. But then we see. But here's the interesting thing. So watch this. If Tesla gets to 906 right before the open, watch for a massive spike. If it doesn't, then 900 just becomes a round number of a possible pin. Add a week or add 2 weeks. If you add 2 weeks, and why? So one last thing here. Comments, questions, nothing here. So one last thing. So why did we buy next? Because Elon had to be selling most likely. Nobody lets. I keep telling you this. Great CEOs. I say this all the time. UPSC, Boeing, all these garbage CEOs. You don't let your stock go down without making a statement. At some point, you have to make a statement. So Elon, being the guy he is, he has to know his stock is going down because he's selling. So he's gonna tell you he's done. He was gonna tell you. All these clowns. Think about all the clowns. Go look at every single clown out there that told you he doesn't have to sell any shares. Really? Can you even make this stuff up? What people come up with? It's just fascinating to me. Think about it. If you let's say Omid has $10 million in stocks, and his wife said, "Honey, we're buying a $15 million house," and Omid goes, "Holy shit!" And he's like, "Well, I'm just going to leverage it from friends, and I'll put my stock up, and if the stock goes down, you lose the house. Everybody's homeless. You're wiped out. Really? You don't put any money in? Doesn't make any sense, guys. Remember, the first thing about trading, make sense. Make things that make sense. Our Facebook analysis was perfect. Every number was bad. It just went up. And that can happen all the time. Apple, look at it, it's about to go positive. Here's the thing with Apple. They did this, was it maybe 2, 3, 4 quarters ago? They guided down by $6 billion, and then they beat, and 6 months later, the stock's as high of year, right? Interesting. I'm really good with Tesla ripping to 950, and we get 20 for those. I mean, I'm happy. And then we see. And that's what we know. Everybody have a great trading day. See you, chat.